This is the one trick I used to get paid $130 for buying this stock. For the past few weeks, I've been watching, researching, and studying Bionano Genomics, stock symbol BNGO, for a possible candidate as an underlying stock for an option trade. After checking out their numbers, reviewing the industry, and the current market conditions, I finally decided it was time for me to try and acquire some shares. Well, I don't just want to buy the shares. What can I do to see if I can save some money? Well, there's one way to find out. We could put these two head to head with a competition of the survival of the fittest. The cash secure put versus the buy limit order. Which approach will win it all and reign supreme? So one method for me to try and acquire the shares would be to issue a buy limit order. This would entail me creating an order to buy some shares at a specified price. So in this example, I don't want to pay the market price, which is $8.18 roughly. I'd rather be able to specify my own price, say for 10 to 15% off. So I would specify a buy order with the limit price of $7 for this example. After placing the order, I have the hope and desire that it eventually gets filled. So I can decide and specify how long to keep this buy order in place. And depending upon market conditions, it may or may not get filled. For example, if the market price never drops to my limit price, there's no chance of this order ever getting executed. Let me demonstrate how I would place this order. First, I'd push trade, and then I would press buy. Then I would click on the pull down of the top right hand corner where it says dollars, and I would specify here where it says limit order, and then I would enter in my limit price of $7. Next, I get to choose when the order gets placed, whether it's during normal market hours or to also try in the after-hour market. Then I can specify how long this order is in effect, whether it's the close of the market today or up to 90 days later. Next, I specify the number of shares I'm interested in buying, and in this case, it's 100. And then I can review my order. So I'm placing an order to buy 100 shares of BNGO, and if the conditions are met, it'll execute my order at $7 per share. Now let's look at a second method for acquiring these shares, and it's called using a cash secured put. So I would place an order selling a cash secured put, and I would set a strike price of $7, because if the price dips to $7, that's the price I'm willing to pay for the shares. Then for an expiration date, I could specify a week, a month, 2 months, 1 year, or even longer. It really just depends upon the underlying security. And the slight nuance here is that the expiration date specifies how long I'm willing to wait for the price to dip to my strike price. Now I'll walk you through and show you how I would place this cash secured put order. First, I would press trade and then trade options. And then for this example, let's go 1 month out. So I'll specify February 19th as my expiration date. And for a cash secured put, I'm going to push sell and put, and then I'm going to pick a strike price of $7. Next, I'll specify one contract, and I'll set the limit price to $1.30 per share. And then reviewing my order, I'm agreeing to buy 100 shares of BNGO at $7 per share on or before February 19th. I'm reserving $700 as collateral, so that's for 100 shares times the $7 per share that I'm willing to pay. And I'm going to receive $130 in credit as a premium for selling this option contract. I send my order in, it gets received, and then shortly after my order is placed, it gets filled. I received the $130 directly into my trading account. I went ahead and made a little spreadsheet table, so it's a little bit easy for us to compare the two different methods side by side. So on the left side, I've got method 1, which is placing a buy limit order. And then on the right-hand side, I have method 2, selling a cash secured put. And so what I'm going to do is walk you through all the numbers and details behind each of the methods so we can see side by side how they compare to each other. So we start off with the first line. The stock symbol is exactly the same, BNGO, for both the buy limit order and the cash secured put. The current stock price is $8.20 for both method 1 and method 2. And then next, it's the amount I'm willing to pay for the share. So in method 1, I set a limit order and I specified $7 as my limit price. And then in method 2, I used the strike price and set that to $7. Now for the number of shares on the next line, it's 100 shares for method 1 and also 100 shares for method 2. Next, we go to what's my cost to purchase these shares? What is it going to cost me for those 100 shares? So in method 1, it's $7 per share times 100 shares, and that works out to $700. And then in method 2, the strike price is $7. So let's assume that the price drops to my strike price and I acquire the shares at that price. So $7 per share times the 100 shares, it's also $700. Now for the premium, I'm going to go ahead and skip this line for right now. And I've got them both set to 0. And then what's my net cost for 100 shares? So in method 1, my net cost is $700, the cost of the share, $7 per share times 100 shares. And then in method 2, it's $7 per share, my strike price, times the 100 shares, that's $700. Now, it's worth pointing out, though, that my strike price is set at $7 per share. What happens if the price drops to $6.50 per share? Well, I'm still going to pay the $7 per share because that's what I'm willing to pay. So according to the terms of the contract, I'm willing to pay $7 per share, and so that's my outgo, even though the share price may be lower. All right, now let's take a look at the line labeled how much premium I receive. Well, in method 1, there is no premium, so that's going to stay at 0. But at method 2, I'll actually receive $130 in premium once my option contract is filled. So that's $130, and look what happens. When I apply the cost for the shares, and I subtract out the premium that I received, my net cost for the 100 shares, it's now $570 for those 100 shares. So let's take a look. The difference per share then is $1.30. And in method 2, that $1.30 savings that I get per share, it works out to a difference of 18.57%. So by using method 2, the cash secured put, I sell an option contract and receive $130 in premium. I have my strike price of $7 per share. And as long as the option contract gets filled and executed, I will pay $7 per share when they get assigned to me. My cost basis gets reduced by the $130 I received, and so my net cost for those 100 shares is $570. And that premium that I received, that represents an 18.5% savings. So the $130 premium gets credited to my trading account as soon as the order is filled, which occurs after a buyer purchases my cash secured put option contract. So now what happens with that $130 premium that I received? Well, it goes into my trading account as a credit, so I can hold on to it and it'll reduce the cost basis of my shares just like we showed in this example. Or I can withdraw the money and have it deposited directly into my bank account so I can spend it. Maybe going out to a nice meal with family and friends, buying new clothes, paying the bills, or whatever I need it for. And of course, a third option is I could take that money, invest it in some more trades, and make even more money. Let me take a moment and answer a couple questions every time I talk about comparing a buy limit order with a cash secured put. One of the questions I frequently see is, can I do this for any stock? And the answer is yes, as long as options are available and traded for the stock in question. Another question I see is, how quickly does it take an order to get filled for a cash secured put? And of course, there's no guarantee that a cash secured put option contract will get filled quickly. In fact, there's no guarantee that it will get filled at all. It largely depends upon the current market conditions and the fair market value of the shares and the willingness of buyers to pay the premium associated with the option contract. And the next question is, after a buyer pays the premium for the option contract, do the shares get assigned immediately afterwards? And the answer is no. The shares only get assigned if the current market price dips below the strike price on or before the expiration date. So all of the terms and conditions specified for the option contract must be met before the shares can actually get assigned. If you enjoyed this video and the information I shared was helpful at all, please do me a huge favor and smash the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm decide if this video is good enough to be shared with other viewers. If you're still watching this video, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I also want to wish you good luck and lots of success with all of your trades.